All right, I'm going to rip this Band-Aid off for the most aggressive story, I think, at this point. And, there's no sugarcoating it. There's no there's nothing that can be said anymore. Basically, the ceasefire in Gaza. Yeah, remember that? Hey, look, and I'm going to be clear on this. I wanted it to work. Oh, God in heaven, did I ever want it to work? And I was okay if Trump was going to be a smug prick about, like, oh, look at me, I won. Great. People are no longer dying. But, oh, no, that's not the case, because here's Donald Trump being caught off guard. 13 seconds. He probably gets informed about this. And you know what? A look can say a million things, but I could tell one thing. He is pissed.
Israel again. Do you feel that Israel was justified with striking when it did?
So the reporter asked, do you feel Israel was justified striking where it did? And Trump is going to say, striking where?
When it did.
Striking where?
In Gaza today.
Right there. Boom. Right there. That look right there. That look says so much. Trump is thinking, oh, God damn it, Netanyahu, Bibi, what'd you do? God damn it, Bibi. That's what he's probably thinking right now. That's what he's thinking right now. Hey, folks, that's a look of, oh, crap. One more time.
Where? In Gaza.
In Gaza. Damn it.
Today and overnight.
I'd have to get back to you on that. I'd have to get back.
What is the next step?
Because we're going to be determined. All of
Israel again.
So let's go ahead and look a little bit more into this.
Here's the fragile ceasefire could soon collapse as plumes of smoke once again rise above the Gaza skyline. The Israeli military says Hamas violated the deal when it fired an anti-tank missile and gunfire towards its troops in southern Gaza, killing 2 soldiers, a claim Hamas denies.
In response, the IDF began striking in the area to eliminate the threat.
Israel says it launched a massive wave of airstrikes, hitting dozens of targets across the strip. Among them, this seaside coffee shop. In all, at least 23 people were killed today, according to local health officials. These were civilians just sitting there. They had no rockets, no weapons, he said. Some of the dead included children. Where is Donald Trump? This man asked. President Trump repeating today, Hamas has to disarm.
Well, they promised they would. They said they would. It's down that they would.
Since the deal came into effect, the IDF has killed several Palestinians who they say crossed the so-called yellow line.
Look at that. I mean, it's there's nothing left. No, absolute destruction. Eventually, all that rubble, the shell of these buildings, it's going to be a pile of rocks, and then they're going to be blowing up the pile of rocks, and then underneath, once they're done blowing up all the rubble, there's going to be all the bones of dead bodies. And be like, oh, we got to blow up those dead bodies. Can't have all the counts. I mean, my God, this is an absolute nightmare. Yellow line, great. Are we certain that it was Hamas who fired? Are we certain about this? You sure it wasn't an unexploded ordnance?
To where the Israeli troops have withdrawn.
Most people here don't have internet connection. They don't know where the line is. They cross it, and then they're hit by snipers or drones.
Only now, over the weekend, have Israeli troops started to mark that line on the ground. Despite those airstrikes, the IDF says it is sticking with the ceasefire agreement. What's unclear tonight is just how much aid Israel is allowing into Gaza.
So when I went to get the newspaper, front headline is aid is being cut off. Witnessing men, women, and children starving en masse. I mean, when does it end? When does it end? When does it end? So here's an article from Common Dreams. The shaky Gaza ceasefire further frayed on Sunday as Israel launched at least 20 airstrikes and blocked all aid delivery in the obliterated Palestinian enclave, while Hamas rejected U.S. allegations that it's preparing to violate the tenuous truce. The Israeli Defense Force said in a statement that it has now begun a wave of strikes in southern Gaza, following blatant violation of the ceasefire agreement earlier today by Hamas, whose fighters are accused of killing 2 Israeli occupation troops and wounding 3 others in Rafah on Sunday morning. Gaza officials said at least 51 Palestinians, including numerous children, were killed across the Strip on Sunday. Attacks include but are not limited to a double-tap drone and missile strike on a cafe west of Deir el-Bahal that killed 5 people, all of them reportedly civilians. An airstrike that again hit another refugee camp that killed 4 civilians, and an airstrike on the Sadr school that killed 4 displaced civilians. Artillery shelling that killed 6 civilians. Oh my goodness! Again, it's more deaths, more deaths, more deaths, more bombing, more bombing, more bombing. So what's the big takeaway from here? Once one round is fired, once one artillery shell is fired, once one tank round is fired, then there's going to be 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 100. And then, oh, the guns are firing again. I mean, what more needs to be destroyed? Are we looking at the full-on destruction of the people in Gaza? Because that seems to be what the overall objective is. You know, before October 7th, keep saying this, that there was a lot of political instability in Netanyahu's government, that people were very upset with some of these allegations and corruption charges and mismanagement that were happening. What better way to distract everyone than have a wag the dog moment? But my goodness, there comes a point of, all right, you've done everything. What more is there? There's no infrastructure in Gaza. There's no water lines, there's no electricity, there's no gas, there's no buildings, there's no roads, there's no bridges, there's no schools, there's no churches, there's no mosques, there's no refugee centers, no community centers, no apartments, no homes, no businesses, no nothing. I mean, there's nothing there. Good luck with what reconstruction looks like if aid ever gets in, because it looks like that's what it's going to be. And the foundation of the Gaza, the Riviera of the Middle East, the new Gaza, is going to be built on the bones of the dead, the rubble of the past. How do we know that it was Hamas that broke the ceasefire? I mean, there's a lot of questions here. It seems right now that the main objective of at least what's happening there is that once the guns are done firing, you know, first aid can happen. You know, people can get food and medicine. But nothing seems to be accepted at this point. Continuing on, this was happening on Sunday, and there's now still tenuous talks about what's happening even today. The IDF has begun striking in an area to dismantle the threat and dismantle tunnel shafts, military structures used as terrorist activity, according to what some Israeli officials are saying. These terrorist actions constitute a blatant violation of the ceasefire agreement, and the IDF will respond firmly to take firm action against the terrorist targets in Gaza Strip. That is what they're doing. And the defense minister of Israel has warned that Hamas will learn today the hard way that the IDF is determined to protect its soldiers and to prevent any harm to them. Hamas will pay a heavy price for any shooting and violation of the ceasefire, and if the message is not understood, the intensity of the responses will increase. Continuing on, there's been also more statements that we have there's been more talks about this, especially from Gaza's health ministry, said that the Israeli attacks had killed at least 8 people in the last 24 hours. Israel and Hamas, as we all know, reached a tentative ceasefire in early October as part of the U.S. President Donald Trump 20-point peace initiative. Trump, listen, you need to get Netanyahu on the phone. You need to get Netanyahu on the phone as fast as possible. And it is important that, you know, that we at least look back at something here, because I just have to pull this up here. Just want to pull this up here. This was from, I want to make sure I get this correct here too. October 5th. October 5th. This was a pretty big deal. Trump to Netanyahu on Gaza talks. You're always so effing negative. You know, I can imagine how Trump is feeling, okay? You know, you want to have a ceasefire, and it doesn't look like it's going to happen. So what's going on? When Hamas came back with a yes, but to President Trump's peace proposal on Friday, Trump called Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to discuss what he saw as good news. Netanyahu felt differently. Bibi told Trump this is nothing to celebrate and that it doesn't mean anything. Trump fired back, I don't know why you're always so effing negative. This is a win. Take it. Yeah, it is a win. Are we 100% certain that it was Hamas? Are we 100% certain? Because with everything we've been seeing since October 7th, all of 2024 and all of 2025, nothing but consistent bombing, explosions, shootings, sniper shots, all of this. It's been destroyed. You won. It's all gone. All right? Generations forever scarred. What more can you do that has not been done already? Unless it's the full-on destruction of the people of Gaza. And if that's the case, hey, everybody, we saw it live on our smartphones. Not even the Outer Limits, not even the Twilight Zone, not even Black Mirror can come up something as so revolting, frightening than what we can do in real life. God help the future writers of trying to warn us of dystopian nightmares when we're already presenting them. We saw it on our smartphones, said nothing. Our politicians did nothing. Under the Biden-Harris administration, they did nothing. So does a ceasefire still stand? Well, they're saying that it still does, but the thing about a ceasefire, and this might get me canceled. Just gonna throw this out here about a ceasefire because I'm reaching my limits here. Hey, no King's March protesters, where are you at? Hey, labor movement, where are you at? All you people who talk a big game, get your signs and you do your little whole fest protests. Where are you at? Where the hell are you at? Oh, that's right. You're at work. That's fine. I understand. You're busy being a keyboard warrior. That's fine. But I don't see any of you really going out there and trying to bring in change. But you're going to tell people to vote Democrat. But on the Biden-Harris administration, boy, oh boy, they didn't do nothing to stop it. Hey, folks, this is evidence enough of the idea of how lazy so many of our leaders are. And again, just one more time, the whole idea of a ceasefire. In fact, let me go ahead and read it from the Big Book of Words. Big Book of Words, ceasefire definition. And I'll end it here. Ceasefire. All right. A temporary suspension of fighting, typically one during which peace talks take place, a truce. There you go. The latest ceasefire seems to be holding an order to or signal to stop fighting. All right. According to Encyclopedia Britannica, right? An agreement to stop fighting a war or a period of time so that a permanent agreement can be made to end the war. Boy, wouldn't that be great if we ever saw that come into effect?